Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. After the tournament was finished, they would then go into relaxation because Goku knows that the androids will soon be arriving. He also does know about the heart virus, but he hasn't felt any symptoms just yet. But he remembers that as soon as he fought that one fatter white android, it did start taking effect. I believe his name was Android 19, and that Dr. Gero guy. Goku's going to take note of it, and he actually has the heart virus medicine with him when they do arrive at the same spot that they were at before in the original timeline. Now the two androids would still appear, Dr. Gero and Android 19. Now the Earthlings and Saiyans are more than ready to fight these androids. Now these androids are a lot stronger than their original selves, but you have to understand that Dr. Gero can only push technology so far. They do have data on the recent times, and maybe they would have it for Super Saiyan 4, but I don't think so. Because if you guys remember, they only took the DNA stuff from the Saiyan Saga and from the Frieza arc. So they only really have that. And even if that's the case, they wouldn't have Frieza anyways. Frieza never showed up to planet Earth. So the androids in reality, true they might be stronger basing off of Goku's power, but they haven't seen the latest like Super Saiyan 4 and more for the lesser androids. But unfortunately, once when they do show up, Goku would start feeling the symptoms. He would feel it slightly, the shortness of breath. Goku would immediately fly off on his own back to Kame's house so he can start taking the medicine early. Now Yamcha would follow with him just to make sure that he's okay. As of course Vegeta, Trunks, and Gohan. Trunks has came back from his time as now he's ready. Now Trunks has also went back to his timeline and he took care of the androids by himself, no issue. Now he doesn't know about Cell yet, so Cell has not attacked him, so we're going to get to that in a little bit. Now going back, Trunks here is ready. And Trunks knows that they didn't really need his help, but you never know. The androids should be stronger, just to be safe. Timeline has changed a lot. But cutting forward, Android 19 would try attacking, as Vegeta's going to step up first. He wants to destroy these two androids and call it a day. He's bored. Vegeta would then turn into a Super Saiyan, as he would easily overpower Android 19. Fortunately, that android has no chance against this version of Vegeta. It does have the energy stealing abilities, which it would take some of Vegeta's power, but it wouldn't be enough, as Vegeta would basically give it the same treatment like he did in the original timeline, ripping its arms off and then destroying it, leaving its head remaining as he stomped on it. Now Dr. Gero would be terrified as he would then try and escape. Now Goku would then tell everybody about how he knows that Dr. Gero would try to escape and go to his lab. Goku already told everybody about this plan. And why is this? It's because Goku and Bulma already have a good idea of where the lab is. Bulma was working on it the most. Goku was making sure that everybody was ready to go. Bulma, right now, while the androids are distracted, she is actually going into Dr. Gero's lab as they speak. So Vegeta would then appear in front of Dr. Gero and kind of hold him off until Bulma was done. Now Raditz would be there and he would kind of be the extra eyes to make sure, as the other Earthlings would then be with Bulma, and it was Krillin and Tien. Now, it was Piccolo, Gohan, Raditz, and Vegeta that were fighting these androids, and Goku originally, but he had to leave because the heart virus hit him. Now, Bulma was already in the lab as Piccolo blasted away through. Now, Bulma would then go to the computer, and she sees a Project Cell. She doesn't know what it is, but she'll take it for now anyway. She would then reprogram these androids, as she can easily upload all the data to her own. This is when Piccolo, and alongside the others, they would then all be continuing to distract everyone. Now, cutting forward, Bulma would then leave with the android pods, as they're not activated yet. She's going to reprogram them so they're not attacking Goku and crazy. There were still androids 16, 17, and 18. Now back at Capsule Corp, Dr. Gero would basically escape. Now how is this? Is because he would trick Vegeta. Remember, the Saiyans cannot sense the android's energy, but it's undetectable. He would then use dust to get away just in time. Barely escaping, he would then arrive at his lab, but only see that there was no one there. The androids were gone. His machines were gone. His special creation was gone. He doesn't understand. How is this possible? And then Vegeta was right there at the doorstep, telling him that there's no escape now. Your androids were taken. by the woman all the way to Capsule Corp, when Vegeta would then hold out his hand and say Big Bang Attack, and it would cause a massive explosion, destroying the entire area, and Dr. Gero was killed. Now, Goku was back at Capsule Corp alongside with everyone else. Now, he was in bed, but the effects were not as severe, because he didn't turn Super Saiyan to fight it, and it didn't make it worse. So he took the medicine early, and he'll begin recovering over the next few days. Now, Bulma would reprogram the androids completely, letting them have their own free thought and not be as chaotic and evil. Now, the androids were already not evil in the original already, as they were different from their future timeline self. Now, Android 16, all they had to do was just reprogram all of them, removing the following order directive and to also kill pretty much everybody. They changed that. But once when Android 17 and 18 were brought back up, same with Android 16, they didn't want to attack nobody, they didn't want to cause any problems, they just wanted to be left alone to try and figure things out. And Bulma promised them that, as long as they promised to not attack and hurt people, which they agreed. As Android 18 goes off on her own, same as 17, Android 16 would just stick around randomly wandering, as he would actually become really good friends with Gohan. He likes Gohan, he's very gentle, and they love nature together. So the androids will cause a peace. This drastically changes the story, as we know. Z-Fighters cannot get folded by the androids, and what about Cell? Well, it's going to be the original Cell from the original future other timeline Cell, if you understand what I mean. The Cell's not going to be any different. He's still going to show up, because he came from a different timeline to where he killed Trunks, took his time machine, and went back to the past to wait it out. It's a weird timeline fix. But now, once when Cell fully molts into his first form, he would then still lay waste to the city. Now, Piccolo knew about Cell, and he was waiting for it. Now, Piccolo by this point has already fused back with Kami, so Piccolo is the sole keeper of the Dragon Balls, and he's also a lot stronger. Now, just in case, Gohan would then come alongside with him. Now, this is when Piccolo and Gohan would then find Cell. Piccolo would then battle Cell by himself, as Cell was a very interesting creature, but Goku would then explain a lot about him, stating Cell can regenerate as long as there's a single cell remaining, and he's absurdly strong, he can never absorb the androids. If he does, he becomes perfected. This is when Gohan would then watch, but he was ready to interject in case Piccolo needs help. Piccolo would then charge up his power, and he would then activate Kaioken times 2. Piccolo would then fly in and deliver a powerful kick to Cell. Piccolo would then use his Demon Hellzone grenade, firing grenades all around Cell, making a massive explosion. Cell was then in almost holes all around his body. Piccolo would then hold his hand out, telling him to go to hell. He would then fire a massive blast using everything he had, completely incinerated Cell. Unfortunately, Cell had no chance against this version of Piccolo, but Piccolo went overkill just to be sure, as he wanted to be sure that he was definitely dead. So now that we are cutting forward now that Cell was destroyed, this drastically changes the Cell timeline. It was already finished. Now, a few days later, Goku would fully recover from the heart virus, as Trunks would then make his leave knowing that Goku was alright. He would then go to his timeline, and he would still fight the Cell from his, before Cell could kill him and take his time machine. This would then change his timeline too, since, as we know, we're going to cut back over to Trunks. So since that Trunks just killed Cell with little effort, he can turn Super Saiyan and obliterate Cell, no different than he would if he turned Super Saiyan 4. Now, a couple of years later, what we know, the world was finally rebuilding itself. Trunks here would still meet the Supreme Kai and Kabuto Kai, who would then tell him all about Babidi. Now, this is when Trunks would then meet up with them and go help to fight Babidi. He would still do the Kai training where he would showcase Super Saiyan 1, 2, and even Super Saiyan 4. Now, they would still use the Z-Sword as, let me explain. The reason why they trained Trunks to begin with is because Trunks originally was not strong enough to pull the Z-Sword out. But Trunks is way strong enough. Even in Super Saiyan, he can pull the Z-Sword out in one motion. But Trunks did that. That means that they would still test the sword. If you guys have played Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, know that they were just about to use the sword on Ketchin, which is the strongest metal in the universe, and actually follow the canon story to where they broke the Z-Sword and Elder Kai would come out. But they didn't do that because this is when Buu and them would then make their move. While being a few days early, Trunks did not do any of the training. So they would still test the material out, and it would then break the Z-Sword, bringing out Elder Kai. Now, Elder Kai would offer to unlock Trunks' latent potential. And he explains that it might not be as strong as that Super Saiyan 3? Is it Super Saiyan 3? But Trunks would cut him off saying, no, it's Super Saiyan 4. He skipped the transformation since it's not very good on energy. He would then explain that, well, this power would just unlock his latent potential, maybe make his Super Saiyan 4 form even stronger. They have time, as remember Trunks is a few days early, so for the next 20 plus hours, he would then dance around Trunks doing the ritual. Trunks can even go into the Mystic form, which Trunks was shocked with how strong it made him. Now this power-up was around the same strength as his Super Saiyan 4, as it didn't have any drawbacks at all. Trunks actually didn't mind it, as it was a really good other option than Super Saiyan 4 in case things went sour. But now Trunks wonders, can he access this while going into a Super Saiyan 4 state? Because his Super Saiyan 4 state is a natural primitive state for him. As the Elder Kai thinks about it, things technically you can. So Trunks here is going to increase his power even more. As you guys remember, Super Saiyan 4 is practically a part of the Saiyan. It's the perfect form. It's pretty much your natural Saiyan state. So Trunks would then turn Super Saiyan 4 and activate the Mystic power within him, thus becoming Mystic Super Saiyan 4, and Trunks is absurdly powerful. Even if Babidi and Dabura did appear, Trunks in Super Saiyan, and probably in technically base form if you wanted to, Trunks in base form can even match Dabura and defeat him. Super Saiyan 1 and 2 and further is overkill. Dabura would have been sliced in half, no issue. Now, Babidi would have been killed, and they would have taken Majin Buu's egg and go hid it away for the time being. Trunks would then go back to protecting and guarding his world. Now, the Goku Black arc, we'll get to that one later. Now, cutting back, it's been 7 years since Peace. Now, this is when Goku knows that Majin Buu would still appear during the World Martial Arts Tournament. Now, Vegeta was looking to have a rematch with Goku, but his main rival is Raditz on him. But Goku's still a perfect goal to try to surpass because Goku's number 1. Vegeta does not like being second or third. Now this is when the Supreme Kai would appear, and Goku would then meet up with him and tell him that he knows that he's here for Majin Buu, which would then shock the Supreme Kai. Goku would then state that he'll go and he'll help the Supreme Kai stop Majin Buu. Now, once when they would leave, the others would follow, of course. Vegeta, Raditz, Piccolo, Gohan, and all the other Z fighters would then follow, Krillin and others. They would all leave, going to go see what's going on. Forward, this is when they arrive at Babidi's ship, and this is when they would then go through the different levels of Babidi's ship. Now Vegeta would handle Pui Pui and Yakan by himself. Babidi's getting scared since they can't even read some of these beings' power levels, it's so high, or the energy read. It's so absurdly high, it's ridiculous. Now, this is when he would try corrupting Raditz and Vegeta's mind, and even Piccolo. Remember, these three beings have small tainted hearts. They have done evil deeds before. They would all wreathe in agony, but Piccolo and Raditz would overpower it. Vegeta, on the other hand, Vegeta would allow himself to be taken over by the Majin. But why would Vegeta do this? It's because Vegeta does not, number one, he's surpassed by Gohan and Raditz. He wants to become the strongest Apex Saiyan that there is. And he saw that the Majin abilities made them stronger. And he doesn't know if he can beat Kakarot, he doesn't really even care. He's just tired of being so weak. He's tired of being the weakest Saiyan, he feels. Now that Vegeta is in Majin form, Goku would then tell them that he will handle Vegeta. Then Raditz would then cut him off, as Raditz would then state, no, he'll fight him. But then Gohan state, no, I'll fight him, Dad. Vegeta would then tell any of them that, listen, I'll fight any of you at the same time, I don't care, as Vegeta's in Majin Super Saiyan 4. Now this is when Raditz and Vegeta would then fly off to go have their match. Goku knows that he's not going to stop it. Gohan would then interject to go. Goku would state, no, I need you to fight Dabura for me. But watch out, he does have spit that can turn you into stone, so do not get hit by it. Gohan agrees, he'll go fight Dabura and easily outclass him. Now this is when they do arrive. Goku would then kill Babidi before he even has a chance, as they're already on the outside of his ship. Now, Supreme Kai wasn't glad, as he states, well, other than Vegeta and Dabura, we can basically go seal Majin Buu away. Goku would then put his hand on the machine that would revive Buu, and he would then give it enough power to revive Majin Buu. This would shock the Supreme Kai. He would scream at Goku, telling him, what did he just do? As then they felt a massive power arrive. Fat Buu was then born. As tells Goku, why did you do this? You just revived him. Goku explains that he might not believe him, but Majin Buu's actually a good guy. And a part of him gets reincarnated into somebody even better, his successor. Supreme Kai doesn't understand. As cutting forward, Vegeta and Raditz' fight is intense. The two were trading blows back and forth. Now they stopped feeling a high power, it was beneath them of course. They would then continue their match. As Raditz was pretty much dead even with Vegeta, it was basically a back and forth battle as they were continuing to combat it. Now Gohan would then fly off to go stop Raditz and Vegeta fighting, but he would not interject and wait. As he doesn't want Vegeta to kill him, Raditz would then break through Vegeta as he would then activate Kaioken, nearly destroying his body doing this, and he would then deliver a powerful gut punch to Vegeta, making him transform out of Super Saiyan 4. Both of them would then fall over in base form, being a complete draw. Vegeta would then punch the ground, almost crying, stating how no matter what he does, he can just never be strong enough. This is when Gohan would then land, and Gohan would tell him, Vegeta, you are strong enough. You're a proud Saiyan warrior. We're all stronger because we are together. There's nothing wrong with being equal. And somebody stronger just gives you a goal to become stronger. Look at my father. If it wasn't for my father sparing your life and him being such a large goal to surpass, how strong would you be now? Would you even be alive by then? This hit Vegeta like a sack of bricks, as Raditz would then tell him, saying, look, you have a family, you have a child and a wife. Don't. Please, you have friends. You have a beautiful home. Don't ruin it all just for pride. Bear your strength. I had to learn this myself. Vegeta would then get up, as he would begin yelling in anger, as Vegeta, by his own pride, would basically destroy the corruption that was in his heart, moving the M symbol in the Majin scroll. This goes to show you how high his pride was. As Vegeta would then apologize for what he did, they understand. They would then all go back, seeing Goku shaking Buu's hand, being best friends with him. But now Goku knows that Majin Buu is not perfect, that there's a lot of evil in his heart. That needs to be split before bad things happen. They would then use Shenron, and what they would do is they would then separate all the evil and destroy it in Buu's heart. So evil Buu would not be there in person, but they would remove it. Unfortunately, Shenron can't do that. He states that while true, he could, but the power within him is too strong. Kid Buu is way too powerful for him, or evil Buu. Goku would then allow Buu purposely absorb Goku. He would use a Ki shield, by the way, to go into Buu's body and remove evil Buu. This would then make Buu spit them out, as Fat Buu was normal. He just lost half of his power though, as now with evil Buu there, Goku would then extend his hand out, and he would then make a promise while Shenron was there. He'd then explain that he hopes that he comes back as somebody good one day, knowing that King Yemma was hearing it. And he would then completely obliterate evil Buu while he was still in the cocoon. Now that peace is finally restored and the Majin Buu arc was really cut like 1/3, they would then be in peace. Now this is where our story is going to take the biggest turn. Goku is expecting things such as the Baby Saga, Super Android 17, Shadow Dragons, but no, this story is going to take a different turn. Instead of following the GT timeline, a certain purple cat is live, and he just woke up from a nice, long nap. This is Lord Beerus, the god of destruction. He sensed a lot of powers during his slumber, and it really stirred him a lot, kind of irritated him. But he thought maybe he was just sensing Whis, or maybe, I don't know, something. He doesn't know. Maybe he was just going crazy again. He would then wake up and eat his breakfast like normal. Whis would be around him, and Beerus would then explain what's going on about that planet Vegeta, whatever it was. Whis would then tell him the whole story. Whis was a little bit nervous, and he would explain that there's a mortal that actually might be stronger than you. This would make Beerus spit out his food. He would tell him that that's impossible. The strongest person in that universe was Frieza. He was nothing compared to me. How was somebody to beat Frieza? Whis would then explain, yes, my lord. A Saiyan years ago defeated Frieza. Whis would then showcase his staff, as he would then showcase all the forms that Goku went through. Now the main one is Super Saiyan 4, saying that they have a power to be able to transform to these states. And they've never, and Whis has stated himself that he's never seen a mortal possess such raw energy without even having God Ki. It's extraordinary. Now Beerus was interested. He wants to go where they are right now. They would then head right towards Earth. It was still Bulma's 38th birthday party. Everybody was having a great time. Now Goku would then feel something, this kind of pressure, a pressure that he's never felt before. Now Goku was not training on King Kai's at this time, just because he wasn't for plot reasons. This is when Beerus would then arrive. Goku's never seen a being like this before, but the pressure from him is something godlike. Never felt it. He's never felt this kind of pressure from Omega Shenron. Nothing. Just from looking at him. There was somebody else next to him who was full of mystery. He couldn't even sense his power or feel any pressure from that weird blue guy at all, Whis. Beerus would then introduce himself, and he was excited to meet Goku. It was said that this is the Saiyan that is as strong as a god of destruction. Beerus would then walk around Goku, lifting his arm, inspecting him, stating who he is and why he's here. He had a premonition of a Super Saiyan god, of a mortal that can fight the god of destruction, as Vegeta was petrified. Now Vegeta would then explain who he is, and he remembers him. Goku fired up. He never knew a being like this ever existed. Well, before they would even fight, Bulma was half drunk, and she would then walk up to them, telling them, hey, why don't you come enjoy the party first before you do any crazy fighting? And Beerus' stomach rumbled as he could smell the food. He says, well, it doesn't sound too bad. Saiyans haven't eaten yet. They haven't eaten all day. You know what that means. As they would enjoy a massive buffet, Beerus and Whis were in heaven, literally, as they were stuffing their mouths full of food, having a great time, actually. Once when that was all done, though, cutting forward, Whis would then make a massive barrier, at least a few miles long and wide. So they have plenty of room to stretch their limbs and fight however they wish. Whis even took a few chunks of the planet, not massive pieces. There's only a couple, like, quarter miles size. Anyway, and he would then throw them around in the arena so they can stand on things and fight. Now, Whis uses his own power to make sure it won't break, so there will be no issues. Now, Goku's been waiting for this. Now, would Vegeta want to jump in and fight? Probably, but he's also scared, and he doesn't want to do that. He'll just let Kakarot handle that. He doesn't want to get smoked. Goku was actually excited, and then he would then charge right in at base form and hit Beerus full force. Beerus was shocked that the Saiyan's base power was this strong. Now, how strong is this version of Goku? Everyone wants to know. This version of AF Goku is far stronger than Super Saiyan God, and he's near the Tournament of Power levels just in base form. Now, this version of Beerus is not from the anime version, from the manga version, which is absurdly more powerful, and we haven't even seen his limit yet. Fighting with Beerus, Beerus would then tell the Saiyan to go all out. He wants to see his true power. Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan 4, as no one has seen Super Saiyan 5, by the way. Only Trunks has seen it in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Beerus was that shocked that this mortal possesses primitive power, but had no God Ki. How was this possible? Beerus would then charge up and use almost his full strength, as he would then charge in at Goku and the two began trading blows back and forth. The power was shaking the entire barrier. Luckily, Whis' power was way more than enough to hold it. Whis was shocked that a mortal was this strong, and people were shocked seeing that this cat god was able to actually fight Goku head on. Goku was having the thrill of life. For the first time, think about this, for the first time in 30 to 40 plus years, even more actually, because he's been dead for 10 in the AF story, he was able to actually have a true fight and push his limits before. Goku would thank Beerus, would use the full power of Super Saiyan 4, blocking Beerus right in the stomach, which would make the god spit blood, would then deliver Hakai Ball, hitting Goku. Now, Goku was not prepared for this attack, and it would have destroyed anybody else, but Goku was strong enough to survive. But it did a real heck of damage on Goku, destroying his G and everything else. Goku would then spit some blood, as he doesn't even remember the last time that he bled. This is almost too much for Goku. Remember, he's never had a true challenge until he fought someone like Beerus to actually go all out before. Now, Beerus was already at near full strength anyway. Beerus would then begin using Ultra Ego, technique of the gods. He would then start to overpower Goku very quickly. First time that Goku has been overpowered before, as just to prevent it, as the shockwaves were so strong that it was rippling just short above Earth, which was causing problems. Whis would then bring it outside into space, making sure that there's no damage to delicious food down below. As he increased his power on the barrier, as now that barrier is unpenetrable and the shockwaves will stay inside. Now, Goku would then jump around the boulders that were left, and he would then hit Beerus with everything he had, using the Dragon Fist. But then, Beerus caught his fist. Beerus would then explain that he's never met a mortal that strong. Beerus explains that he's one of the top 3 strongest gods of all the 12 universes, and this Saiyan is actually equal to him is incredible. Beerus would then showcase Ultra Instinct. Now we know that Beerus can use this, as he used it before, just an almost temporary version of it. Now Beerus would then mix this with his true God of Destruction form. Popo showcased this, and we believe that the other gods of destruction can have it. Now at full strength, Goku was now on the losing end. Beerus would then tell the Saiyan that if that is your full strength, you will never defeat me. This is when Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan 5. This would then elevate his power to be a dead even equal to Beerus, if not stronger. Goku would then clash with Beerus, throwing blows back and forth, as it was shocking to Beast just how strong this Saiyan can become. Are there any more forms that he does have? Beerus would then use everything he had in this final attack, firing a gigantic planet-sized Hakai Ball right at Goku. Goku would then charge up a red Kamehameha called times 10. He would then fire it full force, fighting against the attack. The Hakai Ball would then engulf Goku. Now remember, Goku's never felt this kind of power before. This is a whole new world to him. This would kill anybody else. Goku would then use every ounce of strength that he had to not be completely erased from it, and he would then destroy the Hakai Ball. Goku was in base form as he was completely exhausted. Same with Beerus, as it was a draw. But if Beerus had not fired that attack, Goku would have potentially defeated him, as his strength was too much for Beerus. Beerus was lucky because his Hakai energy was something that Goku was not used to, because he doesn't have God Ki. Now that the fight was done, Whis would then clap as he was praising the Saiyan on how strong he was. He's never been immortal. He would be a perfect candidate for a God of Destruction if Beerus ever kicks the bucket. Goku would then laugh and say, nah, he's not interested, which was a big shame. It would then fly back down, and after being healed by Whis instantly, Beerus would then state his leave, but he's interested in the Saiyan for sure. He tells the Saiyan that if he ever possessed God Ki, he would be something else. Now, Beerus would not offer him to go to his world to train, because that Saiyan nearly beat him and he doesn't want to lose. Now, funny enough, Whis would have the biggest interest. He wants to see how strong this mortal can become. Maybe train him to become a God of Destruction. Now, he would then offer the Saiyan later on, as Beerus is already back to sleep. That fight took a lot out of him. Whis would then come back after a few short weeks. Of course, eating the food that Bulma made, he would then offer the Saiyan to come train with him. Now, of course, Raditz and Vegeta are coming, because they're not going to get left behind. So, the 3 of them would then leave. Gohan would then stay because he found out that Videl was pregnant, he's not leaving. And also make sure that the Earth is safe with him and Piccolo. Now that everything is a bit more peaceful, now, hold on, wait a minute. Dragon, we're missing one very important person. What about Goten? Goten is still born, and I didn't really speak about him because he didn't really change the story much. Now, Goku is training him and continuing. Goten can turn Super Saiyan, and he's touching the realm of Super Saiyan 2. But yeah, Goten didn't really have much of a change to the story. Same with Trunks, who's a kid, and they're about equal footing. So that doesn't really change much. Just so everybody knows. Now, cutting forward over the next 2 to 3 years, Saiyans will begin training. But now, of course, Goku's fought Whis before, and he was completely outclassed. Albeit, though, he was really strong, almost as strong as Beerus, but Whis proved a point. He told him to go into his full strength again. Whis then made a sphere, and he wants to prove why God Ki is so important. Goku would then turn Super Saiyan 5 and attack Whis with everything he had. Whis would then state that your power is all over the place. While it's so powerful, it's still not controlled. It's like an overflowing river. He would then appear behind the Saiyan and then neck chop him, which would knock him out cold. Now, Beerus was watching as he was really pissed off that Whis kind of brought these Saiyans here, but he's not going to say nothing. Now, Beerus is continuing his training on the side, but we're going to get to that one later. Now, Vegeta and Raditz would learn to unlock God Ki, same with Goku. Now, after learning this, they would then have access to Super Saiyan God. and over time, they would then have access to Super Saiyan Blue. Now, Goku in Super Saiyan Blue is stronger than he was as a Super Saiyan 5 by far. This means that he's stronger than Beerus. So Goku is top 2 to top 1 of the strongest being other than angels and the Grand Priest so far. Now we're going to cut forward to the Universe 6 arc, which in the Universe 6 arc, this is where some changes are going to occur because they're so strong. Vegeta would probably have a little bit of trouble against Hit at first, only because they're not used to Hit's ability. But remember, Vegeta in them, they're around the same strength as Jiren by this point, because in Super Saiyan 4, they were already Super Saiyan God level before even training under anything. They're absurdly strong. Now that they've trained and got Super Saiyan Blue by this point, yeah, it's pretty busted. Now we're going to cut forward as Hit was defeated alongside with everybody else. Now cutting forward, what about the Goku Black arc? Now I feel like with Goku Black, when Zamasu would meet Goku, I feel like the difference here is that he would see that Goku is not a normal being. And Beerus would even say that this mortal is even stronger than I am, as Zamasu and them, they can sense that Goku's not normal. His energy is that of a deity. And here's why. Because Goku's still fused to Shenron, and he still has the dragon energy that is within him, but he just doesn't know that. As remember, they gave him a second chance to go back, but he's still connected to the dragon. But they can sense that, so Zamasu wouldn't have as much hate towards Goku, even though he is quote-unquote immortal, in a way, but it wouldn't really change the story much. And even if Goku Black did appear, it would be from the same timeline, as he would not be able to swap the bodies with Goku like that, and this is a what-if Goku. There's not duplicate version. So Goku Black would have been easily defeated by Vegeta, and even Trunks would actually be able to defeat Goku Black on his own. Especially with Super Saiyan 4 and Mystic, Goku Black has no chance. He would have died to Trunks. Trunks would have cut him right in half. Or Goku Black could even get stronger. And even if Zamasu did wish for immortality, Goku still met Zeno and became best friends with him. He would have still wished for Zeno to erase Zamasu, which would then destroy the whole timeline, but they would then put Trunks to a duplicate one, so in the end, pretty much, the Goku Black arc would just end a lot quicker. They were fodder characters anyway. Even if they were fused Zamasu, Trunks and Vegeta teaming up, they would have been able to defeat fuse Zamasu no issue. Now we're going to cut forward into the Tournament of Power. Now, Goku in reality, would he offer this? No, because Goku's way more mature. Now, Goku by this point is almost 100 years old mentally. He would not really be offering to go fight to have all the universes destroyed, but for plot purposes, we're going to say yes. Now, whoa. What about Frieza? The Frieza arc did happen. I just kind of glossed over it because it would have went a lot differently. The Frieza movie would have been 10 minutes. If Frieza was brought back and he trained for 3 months, but even if he went back to Earth, Gohan is all they need. Gohan and Piccolo can team up, and even if Goku instantly teleported them back, Vegeta or Raditz would have one-shot Frieza and completely obliterated him without much of a thought at all. Remember, because Gohan is continuing to train, not gotten rusty, and he's continuing to push the Super Saiyan 4 state, Gohan is not weak. He's actually much stronger than he was from the Beerus fight with Goku. Yeah, Frieza would have gotten completely obliterated by Gohan, and if you want to go overkill, bring Vegeta and Raditz in there. And if you want to go deadly overkill, bring Goku. Yeah, unfortunately, Frieza would have had his golden form for about 1 minute, and then he would have died. Unfortunately, Frieza got the biggest L again. So cutting back all the way forward to the Tournament of Power, Goku would not request to go get Frieza because he doesn't think that they need Frieza. Now, what about Majin Buu? Now, Majin Buu would still be asleep, as that wouldn't really change. And cutting forward, would he get Frieza? I don't think so, because Frieza was not that strong, while comparing to everyone else. The Universe 7 has a very stacked team. Now, the androids are there, and Android 16 would even join in too. That would be the replacement. Even though Frieza's a lot stronger, they just don't... Literally, Raditz, Vegeta, and everyone else does not want Frieza there. They do not trust him. But Goku would agree. Now, the first person that would want to jump in is the fact that they know that there's a mortal that surpassed the God of Destruction, and Goku knows that there's one mortal that he heard has surpassed the God of Destruction himself, and that is Jiren. Goku would then meet Jiren, and the two would begin their battle. Goku would then fight him in base form, and actually fight pretty well against Jiren, turning Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3. Jiren was really shocked how strong this mortal is. But once when Goku goes into Super Saiyan God to Super Saiyan Blue, fortunately, Jiren loses. Fortunately, Jiren has no chance against this version of Goku, Goku would have overpowered Jiren and knocked him out of the ring. Goku would then help the rest of his friends attack and get everyone out of the ring. The fight would have gone by much quicker. Universe 7 would have easily won. Now, Gohan was still made the team leader. He would have still made the wish to bring everybody back, just like before. So none of that would really change. Now, cutting forward, what about the Broly movie? Well, if Paragus did meet up, he wouldn't, because Frieza was basically dead. So they wouldn't really have a chance to meet up. Now, you could say that Chi-Lai and Lemmo did find Broly still, and once when they did that, basically Paragus could maybe find out that Vegeta was alive, but I don't really see how that's possible. Now, you could maybe say that Broly could sense that there's a lot of high powers nearby, and maybe they investigate and they see. It's really up in the air. But even if Broly did go to Earth, unfortunately, he would have a rude awakening. Broly's absurdly powerful. Some say he's stronger than Jiren, but everyone else would have defeated Broly. And yeah, I honestly think that Broly will probably stick with Lemmo and Chi-Lai. And if they did land on Earth, which I'm going to follow, Broly would have been defeated by Goku, but spared, as Goku would help train Broly as he sees the potential within him. Now, what about the Dragon Ball Superhero? Now, I know Dragon Ball Superhero is cutting forward, but Dragon Ball Superhero, Gohan and the others, they're strong enough to defeat the Gammas and Cell Mac. That would have gone pretty much the same. Now, the thing with Moro is with Moro, true, he was still a lot of energy, but Goku's power would be too much. As even if Goku did go into Super Saiyan Blue, it would be too much for Moro to handle. Now, you could say that Moro could take enough and stronger than Goku. You could say that, but when he tried taking Beerus' power, he got overwhelmed and he exploded. Now, Goku's not an angel. Now, cutting forward, Moro would have been defeated either way. Goku was still too strong. And if they were in a real pickle, Goku could have fused with somebody like Vegeta, etc., get even stronger. The Gas arc. Even if Gas and them still made their wish alongside with Granola, they would have died instantaneously. As with Goku being so high, their wish would have taken off years of their life, so they would have been completely incinerated pretty much instantly. Yeah, and there's no Black Frieza arc, unfortunately. Now, you could say that Frieza's men could try reviving Frieza again, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen because they can't find any other Dragon Balls. The Frieza's stuck in hell screaming under teddy bears and rainbows. So anyway, that is it for this series, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys do enjoy it. I really do appreciate all the support that you guys have brought me. Let's see, 20,000 subscribers. I'll talk to you all later.